Welcome, and thank you for purchasing a new international vehicle. The following overview is designed to help familiarize you with 2007 engine emission-compliant vehicles from International. Here you'll learn about the basic fuel and oil requirements, how to interpret emission system-related warning lights, the basic function of the aftertreatment system, and regeneration procedures. All this information will help you get the most from your new international vehicle. So let's get started. The 2007 EPA emission standards require roughly a 50% reduction in oxides of nitrogen, often referred to as NOx, and a 90% reduction in particulate matter, or soot. To meet the 2007 EPA standards, it's necessary to add aftertreatment equipment and technology to the vehicle. So what is NOx? NOx is short for oxides of nitrogen, and it's created by the high temperatures and pressures of combustion. NOx combined with other chemicals in the atmosphere may result in ground-level ozone formation and smog. How can NOx emissions be reduced? By lowering combustion temperatures. Exhaust gas recirculation, otherwise known as EGR, recirculates cooled exhaust gases back into the engine through the intake manifold. The resulting air mixture has a lower oxygen density, thus the fuel burns more slowly, lowering the combustion temperature. The lower burn temperature reduces the formation of NOx. Particulate matter, which is mostly soot, is often visible as the black smoke emitted from tailpipes of older diesel vehicles. Meeting the 2007 emission requirements demands a systems approach. We've enhanced the engine's exhaust gas recirculation system, electronic controls, and fuel air calibrations. But engines alone can't meet the new requirements. Ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel is a key component. Aftertreatment in the form of a catalyzed diesel particulate filter is also required. New low-ash lube oil will be required for use in all diesel vehicles equipped with a particulate trap. Finally, changes to the vehicle itself are needed. All these systems work together to meet the new 2007 emissions requirements. The diesel particulate filter, or DPF, is the primary technology to meet the 2007 emissions limits for particulate matter. Simply put, the DPF captures soot and burns it off during regeneration. Ash left over from burning engine oil and oil additive components collects in the DPF over a prolonged time and eventually must be disposed of. There are three types of regeneration: passive, active, and manual. Passive regeneration is when exhaust temperatures are hot enough to regenerate the DPF without any type of intervention. Active regeneration takes place when engine operating temperatures do not produce exhaust temperatures high enough to achieve passive regeneration. When this happens, engine system electronics automatically activate the intake throttle and/or enables the fuel doser to inject fuel into the exhaust to raise the exhaust temperature, creating regeneration while the vehicle is in motion. This requires no driver action and will also not affect the drivability of the vehicle. The third type of regeneration, parked or manual regeneration, is a form of regeneration that takes place while the vehicle is stationary and if requested by the operator. This will be necessary in only a small number of applications. Some examples would be frequent start-stop cycles, as in a refuse application, or extended idle time where the engine exhaust temperature does not get over 600 degrees Fahrenheit. When might you need to conduct a parked regeneration? To understand this, let's take a look at the aftertreatment system from the driver's perspective. The first warning is a solid exhaust filter light indicating that the filter is filling with soot and you should change your driving cycle to increase the exhaust temperature. For example, drive posted highway speeds for 15 to 20 minutes or perhaps downshifting to a lower gear. When this lamp is illuminated, parked regeneration process is available to the operator. The second warning is indicated when the previously solid yellow exhaust filter warning light begins flashing. This flashing light is your second warning that the filter is becoming overloaded with soot and intervention is required. The third level of warning is raised with a flashing exhaust filter light, plus a solid yellow engine warning light, and an intermittent beeping tone may be heard when the DPF is nearly full of particulate matter. At this time, vehicle power will be derated. Finally, when the red stop warning light comes on in conjunction with a continuous beeping tone, the DPF is plugged and the engine will shut down. Stationary forced regeneration will no longer be available at this point, and the engine will require service. The time elapsed between each warning stage could be several hours or longer, depending on operating conditions. Please read the label on the interior sun visor or refer to your owner's manual for a complete guide to warning lights and their meanings. Parked or manual regeneration requires the following. To prevent personal injury or death, the vehicle must be parked stationary, off the roadway, in a well-ventilated area, away from flammable material. The engine speed control should not be engaged. The park brake must be set. The transmission should be in neutral or park. The brake pedal, clutch pedal, and throttle pedal must not be depressed. When these conditions are met, the Parked Regeneration Request button may be pressed to initiate regeneration. The vehicle will go through a regeneration cycle that can last about 20 minutes. When the regeneration cycle is complete, the switch light will go off, engine RPM return to normal idle, and all exhaust filter indicator lights will be off. The vehicle may now be driven normally. The next two pieces of our systems approach to meeting 2007 emission standards involve changes to fuel and lubricating oil. Ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel, or ULSD, has a sulfur limit of 15 parts per million. It's important not to confuse the new fuel with the pre-2007 diesel fuel called low-sulfur diesel, LSD fuel, which has a limit of 500 parts per million. Ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel enables the reliable use of diesel particulate filter aftertreatment. It's important to know trucks with 2007 emissions technology will not function properly without ULSD. Misfueling will harm the DPF over time. Much like leaded and unleaded fuel distinctions in the 1970s, fuel dispenser labels will distinguish between low-sulfur diesel and ultra-low-sulfur diesel. Vehicles requiring ULSD will be labeled at the tank and on the instrument panel. Engine oils must also change to accommodate the 2007 aftertreatment systems. The oil designation for EPA 2007 products is CJ4, low ash content oil, that is required to minimize ash buildup in the DPF. Pre-2007 engines may enjoy the same benefits of using CJ4 oil as the new engines, such as prolonged engine life, advanced soot control, and greater piston cleanliness. It is very important for customers to note that they should never use 500 parts per million low-sulfur diesel fuel in engines with CJ4 low ash oil, as this may lead to accelerated corrosion of internal engine components. In summary, this short program has highlighted the 2007 emission standards, the new aftertreatment systems, fuel and lube oil requirements, and how to interpret the necessary driver interface information you, the operator, need to understand to get the most from this new international vehicle. This concludes our overview of 2007 engine emission compliant vehicles from International. If you have questions, please read the label on the interior sun visor, consult the operator's manual, or simply contact your International dealer. On behalf of the International Truck and Engine Corporation, thank you again for purchasing a new International vehicle.